following on from the car crash in Nigeria involving Anthony Joshua, which killed two of his friends, um, and Anthony Joshua was in the car also, but he only got his injuries weren't that serious. People have been, and also following on from the funeral prayer in the mosque, which Anthony Joshua was there. People have been speaking and thinking, um, is he gonna fight again? And if he does, when and how long and things like this. And nobody has been really trying to rush it or anything like that. Of course, it's gonna take time to um, recover from something like this. Of course, he can't. You're not gonna say he's gonna fully recover. It's still gonna be in his mind and gonna be impacted, and to be in the crash, be involved, but and also to lose two of your close friends and people part of your team. Um, it's gonna impact anyone, even some of the best athletes. And now people are just letting things happen in terms of when Anthony Joshua wants to speak, he will speak. At the moment, he hasn't said anything in terms of boxing related, and that's understandable. And many people are still processing what's happened in terms of the crash and then the funeral and everything else like that. And according to this Metro article, um, his uncle, uh, but Anthony Joshua's uncle, um, Ademola Joshua, has now claimed that Britain is ready to walk away from the sport. The major thing there is that he has retired from boxing. That is one thing that makes us glad, because each time he's fighting in the ring, we are always carried away emotionally. Ademola told Nigerian outlet The Punch. So this is according to his uncle. Of course, that's his uncle's opinion or what he thinks, and maybe he might be right, he might be wrong, but it would make sense. Also, he's achieved Anthony Joshua has achieved a lot. People can say maybe he didn't do this or he didn't do that or certain losses or whatever, but nevertheless, he has achieved a lot, and I'd say he put boxing back on the map in a way, particularly in the UK, and for a lot of the new generation, or even people who aren't interested in boxing at all, they have started becoming more interested in it. Uh, and he has achieved a lot, and also I wouldn't say if he retired now that people would say that he would regret it, if you like. He's done a lot, and he has enough of a legacy in the sport. And then on top of that, now with what's happened, if he retires, then you're not gonna blame him, and maybe he will. And I don't think most people would not be surprised if he does. But I guess we'll find out at some point in the future, and also possibly maybe he might retire from professional boxing, but he might be in the can say influencer kind of thing where he is the ex-pro, and maybe he does fights with YouTubers or influencers or with misfits or anything like this. As we've seen, the boxing scene is kind of changing. Of course, there's still going to be professional boxing, but there's also this kind of fusion of influencers and celebrities and stuff like this, as well as YouTubers. We've seen this in boxing. We've seen this in now with football, and I'm sure going forward this will be even bigger, because this brings in a lot of money and also taps into a different type of audience. And people like Netflix will hope that it's not only the beginning and they will want to get on board, I'm sure. So who knows, maybe he doesn't retire, maybe he does retire, and or he does boxing in a different capacity.